live with it. Yes, sir. This your boy Tez. Welcome to Hot Dogs TV. Where we bringing that fire and we keeping it 100. You already know what it is. Hold on. Last week was an interesting week for me. I canceled the episode. You know what I'm saying? Had to take a little mental break, chill, and then we came back with it this week. So you already know we're gonna start right off with my boys. They still in the playoffs. They got a chance to make it, G. They got a chance to make it, y'all. My boys still got a chance to make it. Like I said, I already thought the season was over a couple weeks ago, if we being honest. Once they lost that game to the Titans that night, I just don't see them. I already said I didn't see them winning out because next week, the Packers got to play the Dolphins, and they got to play them in Miami. And Miami just lost 2 games back-to-back, which we're going to dive into later. Then the last 2 games are our home games versus division opponents. So it's like, can they win those? Of course. Is it going to be hard? Yes. So I don't know if they're going to make it, man, just to be honest, but anytime your team got a chance to make the playoffs, of course you're happy, of course you're excited, of course, you know what I'm saying, you want them to make it. I don't care. I'm not even saying they got a chance to win it all, but I just want to see them in the playoffs. Who don't want to see their team make the playoffs? Who don't want to see A-Rod have a chance? Because I will tell you this, last time they made the bowl was when they was the last seed in the wild card, and that's when they went on that run. So what's the word I'm looking for? Am I excited? I wouldn't say I'm excited. Am I content? I would say I am content. Right now, I am content. If they beat the Dolphins next week, then I will be excited. If they beat the Dolphins next week, I'll be excited. We finally got a chance to see both the receivers play yesterday, both the rookie receivers. They cut Sammy Watkins, who's been irrelevant all year, not doing nothing. I'm talking about anything all year. We finally got to see both of the rookies play. They did pretty good. I think they're going to be very, very, very good moving forward. I think they're going to be very good. Because the problem really been this year with the offense, if we being honest. Of course, they lost Devontae Adams, so you got to make that up somehow. But then we had 2 rookies. You put a lot of pressure on them. Normally when a rookie come in, you got somebody else there, to help them out along the way, or somewhere where you can fill them in where you don't need them to be, as dominant right out the gate. But in this case, when you got Aaron at quarterback in the Green Bay situation, they needed those receivers. So when they was healthy earlier in the season, even we saw some last night still, but not as much. They still rookies running the wrong routes or dropping the ball. And then when they wasn't running the wrong routes or dropping the ball, they was injured. So it was exciting to see both of them play last night, both of them be on the same field. I think Romeo Doubs is like more of the possession receiver, more the receiver that's going to, keep the chains moving. And then Christian Watson, I think he the superstar. I think he the one that he got the breakaway speed. He's 6'4". You can line him up a lot of different ways. There's plenty of stuff you can do with Christian Watson. So we going to see what they do, man. I ain't getting too excited. Like I said, it's the Rams. They full of injury. So even that game last night, they had a chance to score that touchdown. So it would have been like 31-12. But then they took a knee instead. I'll go ahead and take the good sportsmanship. But I wanted them to score. I wanted to see the score be 31-12. But you know what I'm saying? They did their thing. We'll see what they do next week. So everybody talking right now, you getting excited? No, just calm down, Packer fans, because next week is the real test. Like I said, we got to play the Dolphins, which I'll just go right into them for my next topic. We got to play the Dolphins, bro. I just don't see how they going to win that game. How they going to beat them appreciate that reaction, my boy. How they going to beat the Dolphins when they already lost 2 games in a row? The Dolphins lost 2 games in a row. Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to see something real quick. Okay, never mind. Yeah, they already lost. Hot Dogs TV. Were we bringing out what meat? Go ahead and let them know in the comment section, man. You know what it is. They already lost twice in a row. They lost to the Bills and they lost to the Chargers. So you know they already hot. All the little thing coming up on the comments still bet. They already hot. So I don't see how they gonna win. I just don't see how Green Bay gonna do it. We gonna see. It's Christmas. Maybe we get a gift. Hey, what up? Speaking of the Dolphins, we got my boy Kiko in the building. Shout out to Kiko, man. Hope you having a good week. You know what I'm saying? Christmas coming up. I'm talking about your Dolphins right now because my team play your team next week. Y'all lost 3 in a row? I thought y'all lost 2 in a row. So y'all lost to the Bills. Y'all lost to the Chargers. Who they lose to before? I didn't know it was 3 in a row, my boy. Sheesh. Fire and keeping it 100. Oh my! Let them know. I was about to say something, but I'm trying to keep it professional because for the podcast when we grow, I gotta I'm trying not to say that one word. You know what it is. Oh, you right. They lost to the Niners. You right. They lost to the Niners. I forgot about that. G. Hey, shout out to Kiko. Appreciate that like. Shout out to Valley. Appreciate them like. Shout out to my boy Meek for that like. Appreciate y'all. Yeah. So I didn't know, but I'm talking about the Dolphins right now. So. I think the Dolphins are scary. I think in the AFC you got the Bills and you got the Chiefs that everybody looked at as the two teams, the top dogs. But I think if you're a team, you don't want to play Miami because anytime they can score so easy and then they can come back easy too. So with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, that's just deadly, bro. That's just deadly. So I don't see how. Like I said, Green Bay gonna beat them, man. So that just really made me mad. Thank you, Kiko, for ruining it. Now I'm really mad, bro. I didn't know that they lost 3 in a row. I forgot about the Niners game. I thought they lost 2 in a row. So you sitting up here telling me that they really gonna lose 4 games in a row? Oh my goodness, bro. You just ruined my little faith that I had of Green Bay making it. I already said it was over, but of course I still want them to make it, so I'm not trying to get too happy. And you just came in here and brought that news, G. Why you just do that, bro? Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my, yeah, they not making it, bro. It's over, G. Green Bay losing. There you have it, Kiko. Report live. It's over, G. But yeah, that's tough. Speaking of the Niners, hey, they scary too. I think they the scary team in the NFC. I mean, I don't know Debo. I know Debo got hurt, but I'm not for sure how long. If anybody in the chat know, it really be your own people, Valley G. It be your own people, bro, ruining my little faith, my little hope that I had, bro. That's crazy. The Niners scary, bro. Of course, as a Packer fan, I don't like the Niners, but it's because we can't beat them when it matters in the playoffs. So I just think they dangerous and they scary. I don't think you really never want to see them in the playoffs. So of course you got the Eagles up top. You got the Vikings, you got Dallas, teams like that. But let's say you one of those teams at the top in your first matchup. Well, technically, the Niners, they winning a division right now, actually. So I don't know if their quarterback can keep it up. I can't think of his name. What's his name? Brock? I think his name Brock Purdy or something like that. I'm not for sure if he can keep it up, but they're a scary team because they got a good offense. I think they have the number 1 defense. If Debo come back, I don't know, man. It's gonna be scary, G. You said Packers, Patriots, and Jets left for us. Okay, that's kind of tough. It can be a little tricky. Patriots, Bill Belichick had them playing good. Still Jets, they've been kind of up and down, but pretty good for the most part. And then Green Bay, they haven't really been good, but they still got a chance. So y'all got a tough schedule to end it. We do too, though. They got to play the Dolphins. Then they have to play the Vikings. I'm happy that's at home. Then they got to play the Lions at home, and the Lions been red hot. So we're going to see what happens, bro. But I think the Niners interesting. But another team that I want to talk about it's crazy, man. Hey, I got to do this. I know my boy, he might be mad. I know he probably feeling it right now. But at least his team's still winning the division. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When we going to talk about Brady, bro? Somebody please tell me what's the reason for the Buccaneers losing these games. So I watched the game last week. I was talking to my boy. He a Buccaneers fan. He already was saying that they wasn't going to win both of these games. It's just not ideal because they had to play the Bengals and they had to play the Niners. So that wasn't ideal, G. So, yes, the Vikings have been great lately. And we're going to talk about what they did, too, in that comeback. But, yeah, don't get me started with the Vikings. Tampa Bay, I thought they was finally, you was kind of waiting for this team all year to turn it around. People thought that they finally was going to, do it at a certain time. It's like every time you think they're going to do it, they have a lapse. And last Sunday was the perfect example of that first half. That's the best half I seen them play football all year. The entire year, that was the best I saw them. I think they was up 17-0, right? And then they come out in the second half, bruh. Did they even score? I don't even think they scored no more. The ending score ended up being like 27-17, right? Let me make sure I'm not tweaking, bro. I gotta make sure I'm not tweaking. The ending score of that game was, oh no, okay, 34-23. 34, I forgot. Yeah, 34-23. But it's crazy that they was up 17-0. I think the Bengals had scored like 23 straight or 24 straight before they even, scored again. And it's like, how do you have your best half of football and then you come out and have your second half worst of football? So I don't know, bro. I know Brady been going through a lot personally, obviously. And then, of course, you never really want to count him out, even though he older. And it's like, is this the year, right, where we really can say that he need to retire? Because they got a good team, bro. I know the offensive line was banged up early. I'm not for sure how many people are back or not. They got a good defense. They got a good, offensive weapons. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy. But the crazy thing is they're still 6-8. They still lead their division. So you still probably don't want to technically really play them in the playoffs still too. So it's interesting to see. I just thought that was interesting because it's like I thought they was going to turn around last week, but they didn't. So I don't know, man. I just really think I really think we seeing for the first time where it's like, dang, Brady is the reason for a lot of, I feel like some of they losses. And then even some of the games they won, he was the reason why they won, though, because he came back and had game-winning drives. So, I don't know. It's interesting, man. I already said that. Appreciate the mic. So, I don't know. Man, speaking of the Vikings, hold on. Let's just go right into it. The Vikings, bro, were losing 33-0. 33-0 to the Indianapolis Colts, and then they still won the game. Oh my gosh, Jeff Saturday. Hey, Jeff Saturday ain't got to worry about having a job next year. Not coaching. He needs to go back in the booth. Jeff Saturday, don't even worry about it, G. You can go back to the booth. You can go back to being an analyst, because what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, G? You said NFL this year is actually crazy, bro. Teams are really facts. And you know what? I love that, though. It's not just the NFL. It's the NBA, too. I was telling my guys where it's like, you only can really look at a certain amount of teams in both sports where it's like they kind of head above everybody because everything is so competitive. It's like a team in the NBA can be like 10-12, like the 10th seed, but they only like 2 games out the 3rd seed. It's just crazy. So as a fan, I'm excited because you've seen a lot of great you've seen a lot of good and great teams where it's like the league's just super competitive. It's no more cakewalks. I think they were saying that a couple shows I was watching this week where it's like no cakewalk now. It's like everybody competitive, everybody doing good, bro. So I love it as a fan. Of course, it make it harder. Of course, it ain't, the certain teams and certain players you always had the Brady, the Peyton Manning, Rodgers, Drew Brees. It's a certain quarterbacks, certain teams you already knew it was a lot. But now it's like, even it's going to be tougher, bro. So I love it. You say your NBA too, bro. Exactly. My Heat tweaking right now, but it's still super early, bro. You can't count nobody out because it's super early. Like, think about it. In the NBA in the East, it's really the Bucks, Boston, and I haven't checked the Cavs out in a while, but I know the Boston and the Bucks. And then in the West, you got the Grizzlies, and who else? The Pelicans, and it's like everybody else is kind of like up and down. So I don't know, bro. It's interesting for sure. But the Vikings thing was crazy to me. And you know what else was crazy? Now Matt Ryan on his resume, he got the largest comeback when Brady did to him in the Super Bowl when they was up. I can't think of the score of that game right now. I don't know why I can't think. But he blew that lead. And now you're a part of the worst comeback in NFL history, 33-0. Like, that's just embarrassing, bro. Like, if I was a Colts fan, I'd be sick. They already probably was pissed, but that just would have took it over the top, bro. Ain't no way, G. Ain't no way y'all let that happen. Come on, that's crazy to me. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with their coaching, far as the coach next year. See what they pick up. Jonathan Taylor, he been a bust too all year. He messed me up in fantasy because I picked him first. Bro. He was a bust. I'm not picking him next year. I don't care if he have a great. I'm not picking him, bro. He ruined my fantasy in one of my leagues, bro. He pissed me off, to be honest. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what the coach do, but We're going to go to another team. We're going to go into America's team, which is the Dallas Cowboys. Come on, Dallas. Even though we was just speaking about teams, doing better, doing good. Come on, the Jaguars, a pick six to end the game. Sheesh. Come on, Dallas. I think it was a stat saying that Dak Prescott, he's thrown an interception like at least once in the last 4 or 5 games. So I don't know, man. I didn't watch that game, so I don't know. I just know I saw the ending and how it played out, and it was just crazy how it ended on the pick six. Dallas, they always have a talented roster and a good team. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be that guy. It just seemed like when them playoffs come, I don't know what be happening, bro. Because I really do like Parsons. That man is cold. Parsons cold. And I do like CeeDee Lamb. I like CeeDee Lamb. Some people, not too big on CeeDee Lamb as a receiver. I like CeeDee Lamb. We're going to see what CeeDee Lamb do. I think they still need to get another receiver, but I thought that was crazy that happened. What else I got to talk about? Ooh. All right, I kind of talked about the Bengals already because I brought them up with Tampa Bay, but that's the team people need to be worried about. They started off slow this year because they was 0-2, and then, the Jamar Chase injury too. Some people thought he was going to be out for the season, but he not out for the season. He ended up being able to come back. So they got him. You got Jamar Chase, you got T. Higgins, and you got Tyler Boyd. People keep forgetting that they did make the Super Bowl last year. So it's like, hey, they made the Super Bowl last year. Don't sleep on them boys, bruh. They got a good team, G. Everybody looking at the Bills, rightfully so. The Chiefs, rightfully so. But, and speaking of the Chiefs, the Bengals beat them 3 times in a row now, even going back to the playoffs. So that seemed like the only team that might have the Chiefs numbers in the playoffs. So I just think people need to watch out for the Bengals. I think they are very, very sneaky. I'm putting them even like they remind me of like a Miami sneaky. I think people kind of maybe not sleeping on them as much as Miami now because they lost 4 in the. What did he say? Did he say 3 in a row? I can't remember what he said now. I forgot that quick. Yeah, 3 in a row. Yeah, 3 in a row. So I don't know. The Bengals is really sneaky though. I think their record is 10-4, and they can get some people some trouble, bro. So shout out to the Bengals. And another team I want to give some love to. See, everybody can't do this. They in my division. Well, not my. They in the Packers division. But I'm gonna go ahead and show them some love because they've been red hot. The Detroit Lions. I said this last year. I think out of all their losses last year, maybe except like 1 or 2, they were very competitive and they only lost by 1 score or less. So it's like this year we seeing the fruit a little bit more, where it's like basically it's still some of the same. Where they record, I think their record is 7-7, so it's not the best, it's not the worst, but they always compete. They always fight hard. They got 2 good running back duos. Shout out to Jamal Williams, former Green Bay Packer. I mess with Williams. He always gonna play dirty, like rough, hard. You definitely want him on your team. And then St. Brown, the receiver they got, oh my gosh. And then they said last night during the Rams-Packer game that if the season ended today, the Rams, they don't got no picks for, forever because they gave up everything, which you can still say it was worth it because they won a Super Bowl last year. So, but the Lions have the number 5 pick in the draft right now, and they already doing good. So they can keep adding talent. They've been hot. They probably been one of the hottest teams in the NFC. So it's crazy, man. Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to Motown. We're gonna show them some love. Of course, I want y'all to lose though, because I need Green Bay still to make the playoffs. But shout out to Detroit. And then we're going to end it. We're going to end football, and we're going to switch over to basketball. But I had to throw this in there. What was what's his name? Jacoby Myers from the Patriots? Talk about a tough way to lose. Talk about a tough way to lose. It's something I'm going to do this week that I already had this vision from when I was a kid. And I don't know why. I was just talking this week where I was like, I don't know why I never incorporated this yet. But I used to do this thing where it's called like Tweak of the Week. And basically a tweak is like a, Shaq and a Fool, like a blooper. But that's just what me and my cousins called it. And I was like basically the head of it. Like basically we came up with that together. But that was something like I pushed. So I'm going to do that for my podcast, like with NBA, with basketball. Basically, like I said, like a Shaq and a Fool. But we're going to call it, it's called Tweak of the Week. And then we're going to throw it out there. We're going to put that content. Because I'm starting it this week. Because that play that Jacoby Myers did from the Patriots, This man threw the ball backwards, a lateral. First of all, this is the last play of the game. So, you trying to score, as best as you can. They hand it off to the running back. He actually get about 30, 40 yards. He throws it to Jacoby Myers. First of all, the man catches the ball. He running backwards, G. I don't know what he doing. He running backwards. And then when he ran backwards, he threw the ball like 15, 20 yards down the field to the quarterback. What are you doing, bro? And then he catches the ball. The dude on the Raiders caught the ball and took it to the crib for the game to end. Oh, I would be sick. I would be sick. If y'all didn't see that play, y'all got to go see that. And go watch Bill Belichick interview, because his interview was crazy. I don't know what he was doing. That was literally, you had some people saying this week, like on the sports shows, which I agree, that was probably the dumbest play I ever seen somebody do, bro. I couldn't imagine somebody from one of my teams doing that. That's crazy, G. That's crazy. Now we're going to switch over to the NBA to close it out. We're going to start off with my Bucks. You saw they got that dub last night versus the Pelicans. Stop playing with Giannis, bro. You know what I love about the Bucks, though? This is what I love about the Bucks. They get it done a lot of times versus good teams. No excuses, no matter who on the court, bro. Last night, Middleton didn't even play. If you look at a lot of their wins this year, it'd be a game where, like, Giannis don't play, Middleton don't play, or Holiday don't play, they big three, and they still win the game. Like, Brook Lopez had 30 points last night, bro. It's crazy. Giannis had, hold on, I had the stats, what he had last night. He had 42, 10, 1 assist, 1 block, shooting 71% from the field. How can you not love it, bro? How can you not love it? Let me see what Brook, I think I said Brook had 30. Let me see what Drew Holiday had. Hold on. I'm going to look on the computer, actually. Let me see what Drew Holiday had. Drew Holiday had 18 and 11. Yep, Brook had 30. Giannis had 14. It was a good game. I was kind of watching that game at the same time I was watching the Packers-Pelicans game. So, and Valanciunas had 37 and 18. Oh, my goodness. Valanciunas had 37 and 18. And shout out to the Pelicans still, because they playing without Brandon Ingram. But I just want to, I got to show some love to my Bucks. And Joe Ingles made his return last night too, so I'm happy to see what he can do. I think he's gonna be another element for the Bucks. I think he's gonna bring some playmaking. He a pretty good defender, and he hit clutch threes. So I'm happy to see what Joe Ingles do for the Bucks. Middleton, he kind of been up and down still. People don't realize he still did just come off that injury about a week and a half ago, so he came out strong versus the Lakers, so that was encouraging. But then after that, he kind of been up and down. So, you know what I'm saying? Still going to take him a while to get in rhythm. But I just love what the Bucks doing. I think they got a good roster. I think they got a chance, man, for real easily to do what I thought they would have did last year back-to-back if Middleton didn't get hurt. So, shout out to the Bucks. Shout out to Giannis. If I was to go with the MVP right now, it keep going back and forth between him and Tatum. I know the Celtics lost. And I think in their last 5 games, they're like 1-4, so you got to take that into consideration. But I got Tatum and Giannis at the top easily. The Grizzlies did my boys dirty the other week. Shout out to my boy and appreciate that share, my boy. They did my boys so dirty. That was a bad. I watched the game, some of the game, not all of it, of course, because they was getting blown out. I'm like, sheesh, them boys came to play. So I think, you always have a game like that sometime where it's needed. People was over-exaggerating. It was good for the Grizzlies, of course, but as a fan of the Bucks, I wasn't, too mad. It's early, regular season. I felt like that was one of them games where I think Giannis made a post after that saying something like, it's always good to be humble or stay humble, something like that, because they got they butts kicked. I think they lost by like 40, so shout out to the Grizzlies, man. That was a good game to get the Bucks back on track, which I think since that loss, I think they won 2 in a row, so they've been good since that loss. So, shout out to them, man. Something I really don't want to talk about that's making me mad is the Lakers. Oh, my goodness. As soon as I get happy, as soon as I get excited watching my boys, Anthony Davis, bruh, had to get hurt. He was climbing his way up that MVP ladder. Not only was he playing good, he was playing like the MVP of the league. giving you 55, 17, 5, 2 blocks, and now he hurt for a month. Bro, the Lakers need that man. They're not good. The team already not good. So they need everything to go through him, which they were doing. And it's just like the highlight and the best part of the Lakers right now, really besides LeBron and AD, is Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker is a great addition. And he's been playing out of his mind. He's been playing good. But it's like everybody else, I don't know what Rob Pelinka doing, bro, to be honest. Like, I don't know what he doing, bro. I really don't, to be honest. Like, you supposed to be this great person, you know what I'm saying, to make trades and players coach or whatever, you know, whatever you call that and stuff like that. And it's just like, why are you not making a move? Like, what type of roster is this? Like, we talking about LA, whether you like the Lakers or not, whether you a fan of them, we talking about, we know how the Lakers known for getting big, you know, superstars, making trades, making, you know, that splash, you know, move and stuff like that. You know, you can go all the way back to Showtime with Bron with Magic. You can go back to the, you know, the Kobe and the Shaq, and Kobe when they got Paul Gasol, when they tried to get Chris Paul, but the league was hating. I gotta have a segment about that too. So it's just like, when you look at this roster now, it's just embarrassing, bro. Like, and certain players, don't get me wrong, they're good and I like them, but you need them to do too much in order to do what the Lakers are, you know, accustomed to doing, which is, you know, winning championships. So I was happy with the way AD was playing. I wouldn't say they were still a contender. I would say they were, you know, they was gonna make the playoffs and be a potentially get out the first round. But this just set us all the way back. I don't know, bro. I just don't see them. And they actually won that game too when AD went out versus the Nuggets, which was encouraging. Shout out to Darvin Ham. One thing about Darvin Ham is he gonna get them boys playing hard. He gonna have them playing tough, and he really is a good coach. And I really do think he a good coach, and he learned a lot when he was with Milwaukee. So I was happy he got this opportunity because I think he'd do good and strive. But you only as good as your roster. But he got them playing hard. He got them playing, you know, competing. It's just Mitch Kupchak got to do his job and get some players. I don't know how they gonna do it. I don't know if they gonna make a trade like that. Like I've been saying every episode, basically from the beginning when I started this podcast, he already had a chance to make some moves before the season started, but he didn't. So now this is what you seeing. Like, you got to lie in your bed, bro. But I'm disappointed in him, man. But we're going to see. There's a couple more things I want to talk about. The Warriors, it's still super early. Like we've been saying, it's still super early. But they might be in a little bit of trouble right now, too. They already were struggling. The last time I checked, this was like Friday, so it's probably not as accurate. But they were like 2-14 on the road, and then they're like 12-2 at home. So it's crazy. And now Steph is injured for a month, so it's like I don't know what the Warriors gonna do. It's just they just seem like they just out of sync. I don't know. Like, it's not good. It's not really, you know what I'm saying, looking good for them. It's just far as they just keep dropping. I don't know how high they will be by the time the playoffs start. I still got them making the playoffs, but I don't know if they're as dangerous as even somebody like I had them, because it's super early though. So like I keep saying, it is super early. But if we got to call a spade, they're not playing good. Their best player just went out. I think he's injured for at least a month. So we're going to see if these young boys can hold it together, hold it down a little bit while they gone. Jordan Poole, I love Jordan Poole. He amazing. He just had like 42 points the other night. So we're going to see what they do. But it is concerning that it seemed like they are very dominant at home, but they can't win on the road. And it just seemed like I said, they out of sync. I don't know if that Jordan Poole, Draymond situation is still, you know, having an effect on the team. Because even though they moved past it and then they being professional, that don't mean it still don't have an effect. And I haven't really seen, but some people have said, you know, some of their interactions you can see still is kind of off. I haven't paid attention as much, so I don't know. I have to, you know, try to look into that to see. But I don't know, man. So if we can get somebody else new out the West this year for the NBA, that'd probably be good. Of course, you know, people don't like to see the same team winning. Me personally, I like, you know, a lot of the players on the Warriors, so we'll see, man. It'd be interesting to see I wouldn't mind seeing like a Pelicans Grizzlies Western Finals. I think that'd be amazing. So we're going to see what they do, man. And the last thing I wanted to end it was the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns and I want to talk about them and the Dallas Mavericks and the Pelicans. You know, it's a little funny meme going around saying basically, because we know how when Dallas plays the Suns and Luka, I don't know what it is. It's something when Luka play the Suns and when Luka play the Clippers, he be cooking them boys. And then the Pelicans, if you remember last year, they played I think they played the Suns in the first round, and that was without Zion. I think I said this on my last podcast where you can see it was a lot of confrontation. It was a lot of feistiness. It was a lot of fights and stuff, which you love to see, especially in playoff basketball. And when they played a couple nights ago, or maybe last week, Zion ended the game doing like a 360 dunk, and the Suns was mad. Now, as a fan, of course, I love it. And then post game, Zion said he was a little out of character. He apologized. I think I might have said this on my last podcast, but I just wanted to bring it up again because, he apologized. He said, that was out of character and stuff, but they beat his team in the playoffs and he couldn't play. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is it was like a funny meme going around saying, who hate the Suns more, the Pelicans or Dallas? So I would love to see them match up in the first round or any time in the playoffs. I would love to see a Dallas versus Phoenix or Pelicans versus Phoenix. I think it'd be great. And then about that little rule, I'm 50-50 on this because like a great example is last night. The Packers had a good chance to score on that last drive. They was literally like at the 1 yard line, but they took a knee instead of scoring. If they would have scored, people would have been mad. It just depends. I'm kind of iffy about it. I don't think it's a big deal. Let me play devil's advocate for a second. Check this out. I don't think it's a big deal like other people do. I actually like it. Like you said, it's the fans. People enjoy it. Of course, if you're a fantasy, head like me, you would be mad because you want, a certain, quarterback, receiver, running back to, get their points up some more. So you be mad from that standpoint because you be watching the game like, bro, pass it to him, run the ball to him. So I don't know. It just depends. But for me, I don't think it's a big deal as people make it. Like I said, that's why I say I'm kind of iffy on it. Somebody want to go ahead and, throw something off the lob, do it. Especially if the other team been talking and chirping and doing stuff, which that's how I feel like the Suns are. They very, they do this a lot, and then it seems like they can't dish it when it goes back to them. But I said I wanted to play devil's advocate because, something I hate. While people saying they hate that when teams, score when it's over. No, this is what I hate. Why y'all coaches and why teams and stuff be calling timeouts when they score? You down by 20 and it's 20 seconds left, and you call it a timeout. No, stop, bro. Stop doing that. Like, I know momentum, and you be having players that's in the game that normally don't get to play and stuff like that. But that's worse to me than somebody doing a dunk and they up 20. Like, I don't want to see that, bro. They be calling timeouts. They be hustling, acting double team and triple teaming you. Why are you triple teaming me and the game is over? You're down by 20 with 20 seconds left. Why are you half court trapping me? Why are you full court pressing me? Why nobody talk about that? That's what I hate. Stop doing that, G. Stop doing that. You're not winning the game. It's over. So, I don't know. I just want to play devil's advocate. That's my point. That's my my little spiel. That's what I hate more than somebody running the score up. I hate when people do that. Shout out to them 50 stars, man. I don't know what he in here talking about cap for, man. I don't know what this guy's talking about. Dimitri Porter, this guy's he's a prick. I don't know what's his problem. Appreciate the 50 stars, my boy. But, hey, I think that's all I got for this episode. Let me see who played tonight. Who we got for the NBA tonight. Let's see who we got for the NBA before I end it. So, today, you got the Grizzlies and the Nuggets tonight. That'll be good. You got the Bulls and the Heat. That'll be good. Ooh, tomorrow you got the Bucks and the Cavs. That's a good game. Warriors and the Nets. Got some good games, man. Who played for Thursday Night Football this week? Ooh, you got the Cowboys and the Titans. Okay. So, episode 13, G. I'm about to get on. Relax, my boy. I'm about to get on. Hey, this man, episode 13, is crazy, man, to say that. I appreciate everybody for the support. Like I said, we're going to upgrade. New camera on the way. New desk. I'm going to get my mic to where it's like professional, you know what I'm saying? Episode 13, bruh. I just keep saying that because I'm just happy. Y'all don't understand the push and the drive it takes to keep doing this, man. Especially if you don't, think you getting all the, numbers and support or stuff like that you think you should get. But I appreciate everybody that do be coming. Appreciate everybody that stop by, always showing love. I am going to come back this week. I haven't did a prediction in about a couple weeks. I keep slacking on my predictions. So I'm going to come back this week with a prediction. And like I said, I'm going to have a new segment that's going to be called Tweak of the Week. So be looking forward to that. I'll drop it on here, drop it on probably my TikTok and YouTube for sure. I gotta close it out by saying something. I really don't want to say it because these dudes in the chat, they giving me a hard time. They, like I said, they're a bunch of words that I can't say while we're on air right now. But you know, this your boy Taz, Hot Nines TV episode 13. We're bringing that fire and we're keeping it 100. I see y'all later this week.